Previously on InfraSpace. After our last successful terraforming effort, we have been hired again with the added challenge of repairing a spaceship in orbit. We made landfall, and JD did what he does best, went straight into overproduction. Concrete, oxygen, food, water and steel, along with science and research. JD increased supply lines, doubled production, tripled the population, and then went back to adding more production. Isolated microfactories seem to be our best course of action to cut down on traffic, along with extensive use of highways wherever possible. The spaceship is slowly being repaired. The hull is done. Just 13 more parts to go. We unlocked bigger drills, which will lead to bigger production, so off-site steel and concrete were built, which led to both population and power problems. Power can be fixed easily. People, well, that's another story. We planned out the suburbs and made real food, with self-driving but not sentient vegetables, and meat would drive themselves to the meal factory, then DoorDash their way to people's homes. This combined with culture from the stadium would let the housing upgrade, if only we had one more item, robots. So we built nanotubes and neural processors, all in an effort to get some home robots and allow us to unlock the next tier of housing. Because let's be honest, as the house gets bigger, the desire to clean it gets lower. Remember, for every like on the video, we get one extra robot, and you can always click the subscribe button for more.
G'day mate and welcome to InfraSpace with me, Jitty, and you may notice things have changed just slightly. I managed to get all of Suburbia moved from where it was across to its new location, which is great. And I'm hoping what we've set up here works. Yes. I'm going to talk about exactly what I've set up here in just a minute with the one-way roads and all sorts of things. But there's a couple of things I want to get to first. First off, we finished the repairing of the hull. Okay, so spaceship. We finished the radiation shielding, yes, which means 200 people immediately came to help us, which is great because our population is slightly askew. But they're stuck in here, and as you can see, we have a little bit of problems getting people out. So what I want to do is I want to move our spaceports to down here and grab the other spaceport and move it down here as well. This way they have much better access into, well, town, Suburbia, good old Suburbia. Everybody loves living in Suburbia. That needs to go into both lanes, please. Thank you. And hopefully that means, well, we can get the population a little bit more evened out because I have, well, I'm 1,000 people short, roughly, give or take it one or two. Yeah. So that's the first thing I want to do. Second thing is, now the spaceship has had the radiation shielding up and running, I want to get the FTL turbine, which was methane, motors, and steel. Mainly because, increasing all building efficiency permanently by 5%. Now I'm hoping that's not making all the buildings 5% cheaper. I'm hoping to make them that's 5% more production out of every building. That sounds like a deal to me. Methane, motors, and steel. Steel, well, we have a crap ton of steel right here. And as I've removed the depots, there's got nowhere to go except right here. We have motors right here, which assuming they keep getting copper, we're going to talk about copper in just a second, that should be fine. It just means it needs methane. Now, methane is all the way down here. And as we can see, there is a greater flurry of trucks not leaving because, well, it's in a pipe. So if I go to methane pipes and we go up to here, I'm just going to grab the pipe and I'm going to run it to, well, here. Game thinks about it and done. Which suddenly means you have 40 methane. You just need to have the steel imported, which I'm going to go with that. Oh, gorge. No. That truck. Yes, steel. Lots of steel. Okay, so that should solve that problem. Now, assuming I keep up with my motor production, we should be fine. Motors require copper, and districts are a double-edged sword. If I look at districts, my copper here, and here are all inside districts, which means if we click on, nope, copper. Actually, currently it's not set to export because I killed that export. But it means if that copper was set to there as these two coppers are, that means it's only going to get shipped to that area and nowhere else. So I have two options. I either put motors inside a district, or I never encapsulate this copper and aim it back at electronics, which is a possibility. The catch then means that, well, this copper might decide to get shipped into here, which already has a small traffic problem, which we're hoping to fix in today's episode. So I'm thinking what we're going to do is find these motors, give myself a tiny itty bitty district here. Yep, and I also need a tiny district just here, which we'll get to in just a second. And then we're going to go to copper, and I'm going to say, hey, this copper I want shipped to there, and I want this copper shipped to here, which should keep them running. Can I get rid of the districts overlay? Cool. At the same time, these guys need steel. Steel's not a problem, and we are repairing the spaceship. Now, I like my spaceships. In fact, I'd like my spaceships repaired even faster. So I'm just going to put in a second one of these because I can. It's probably going to need power. So let's put in a, nope, substation. Right about here. And done. Yeah. You just need steel. Steel will be right along. Okay. So that hopefully repairs the ship at twice the speed. Hopefully. Oh, you see, you just reached level 5. Obviously, I did something right. Next thing I need to do is we're not getting electronic circuits into green science. So I'm going to set up a itty bitty little green circuit factory with normal roads, please. Yeah. Sure. Electronics there, and there, and districts. Paint this area. Paint this area. Electronics there to there, and copper. Well, it's already painted to this district. Okay, and as for the iron, well, it's just going to get iron from wherever it wants. I'm hoping, as I happen to have iron right here, it happens to be from right there. That's my hope. And also I need to say, yeah, you ship there. Okay. That's my hope. No guarantees. Okay. So they're the first two big changes I need to do. Next up, I need to talk about this. Okay. So this is working, although we may notice that some things don't have computers and computers. Home appliances, that's the ones I'm looking for. Yeah, we're having shipping problems. Now, that is partially due to me moving everything. That is partially due to things are broken and not working perfectly. And also it's partly due to traffic. Traffic will fix eventually, but let's start with what I've done here. So, in my little city, we already spoke about how we're putting in the parks, how we're putting in the stadiums. We also need to talk about our roads. So, we have a 4-lane main road around the outside, around the left, and not across the top. God. Unbury more roads. Okay. On the left side, also in our first division and our second division, and also on the right-hand side, I have highways. Because why the hell not? There's nothing attached to these roads, so we might as well make them out of highways, and it just makes them a little bit faster. They're also bidirectional, so they both go up and down. Whereas all the other roads are single directional. So we go right to left, and then left to right, and then right to left, and then left to right, and then a giant gap because this is where a stadium's going to go, left to right to left, so on and so forth. It also means that every single one of these intersections has had to be manually set because otherwise... Oh, look, this is one. Yeah, it doesn't let the vehicles through properly. You're going straight, and then you got the funny chicken bone in you. Yeah. And then you're fine for some reason, but then you need to be set. Yeah, when it does this, it means whole lanes become inactive and they don't get used. Okay, the next thing I need to do with Suburbia is I don't want to let anything out of Suburbia. Once you go into Suburbia, you're stuck in Suburbia. I'm sure everybody's been to Suburbia before. I'm sure you know exactly how it is. So I want to make sure vehicles are not allowed to leave Suburbia ever. I also want to probably have you go straight through. Yeah, I don't see a reason why not. All right. Next thing we need to do is we need to look at home. No. I need to fix my traffic problem. Okay, so all the way over here, we're making a lot of computers. Now, all these computers get shipped over to the town. The problem is, let's start back here. We have computers coming out. They're using the right-hand lane. Meanwhile, aluminium's using the left-hand lane. They're coming down here. This is bi-directional. And then here, everybody's, going in their corresponding lane all the way down here. Now, all the way down here, everything's running fine until we hit this spot where we have a slight backup. Now, I've already had to re-enable the second lanes because for whatever reason, the copper decided to just be on one lane and then stop the other lane running entirely. But as you can see, it's a bit of a traffic nightmare down here. And it is due to, well, trucks need to go every different direction and that sort of stuff. And there's just a lot of traffic. So, and the purple ones then come out here and they also sit here bumper to bumper. Can I Okay, so can I do highway, 2 lanes, replace road, that one, 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 and that one. Okay. What are you doing? You are... Okay, you can go into this lane as well. And then around here, you can use both lanes to go around the corner. And over here, you can go into that lane and that lane. Yes! You can jump off and you can continue through. Probably gonna have to do that as well. Just due to the way vehicles are entering. Well, it's a bit better. Things are flowing, sort of. Oh look, see? This whole lane's been cut off. Because it has a T-junction right there. Let me guess. Exact same? Yeah, we just cut off a whole lane. And yet, this one we cut off a different lane. Yeah. There's a lot of microing of the roundabouts and intersections, that sort of stuff going on. I don't know whether you guys want me to include that in the videos or not. At the moment, I've been cutting it out. But there's an awful lot going on. All right. But we have a lot of vehicles, and they are going... nope. All right. They're coming down here, over to here. After they get to here, they're going into here, and finally hitting that roundabout. What I'd like to do is I'd like to give them a giant shortcut. So, I want to have... let's go with 2 lanes out from here. Then, using the R button, we can have our first raised highway. And I want to take my raised highway to about here. Oh. And the game just has to think about it, because that's one hell of a highway. And then we're going to go through to... Let's go through to there. And then through to here. And then move you out of the way. And 2 lanes into... 2 lanes, 1 lane, 2 lane. Doesn't matter. We'll just run 2 lanes into there. Into the roundabout. And you're both going to jump on that lane. Sure. Except I'm going to do that as well. Right, then we're going to scroll all the way back to the start. Because, no, all the way back to the start. Because we have the purple trucks, the ones with computers that are coming out on the right-hand lane only. So I want to make sure that the right-hand lane has a chance to go that way still, because that's the way they were going. Also has a chance to go straight through. I also want to make sure that aluminium has a chance to go straight through as well. Now, currently, aluminium's not going to need to go straight through, because, well, this only goes into Suburbia and nowhere else. But in the future, not right now. You are working. I don't know whether well, your output's full. I'd say I'm making them fast enough. In the future, there is orbital scanners needs aluminium ore. Also storage deck needs aluminium ore. Telescope, no, blah, 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 blah. So there's going to be a couple of things that need aluminium ore. So what I want to do is, right about here, I want to take this down to ground level. Actually, we might do it here. I take this down to ground level on, and we're going to try this, on the left-hand side, and bring that through there. It's not too bad with the curve. I don't mind the curve. And then, why can't I plug that in there? Cool. And what I want to do is, I want to make sure the right-hand lane can go into both of them, and the left-hand lane just goes to the left. And that is aluminum. Yes, aluminum is on the left. Okay, so it means aluminium has a direct course to here, which is very, very close to the spaceport. It's not like on their doorstep, but it's close. Oh, that is launching really quickly. All right, so that's the first thing I want to do. Next thing I want to do is research. We're currently doing methane fermentation, so that's perfectly fine, but I need to work on, well, my lack of home appliances. Now, home appliances are pretty easy. They are electronics factory into a home appliance factory. So I want to, well, rip out this build entirely and redo it. And we could use districts, and we might use districts, but we've learned a lot about one-way roads. And I think one-way roads, honestly, are the champion. Okay? First off, I'm going to go with a highway from there to there, and also there to there, and a normal road there to there. So that's all plugged back together. We've just moved it all over time. All right, I'm going to go with a one-way highway with 2 lanes. Of course, you don't let me build that one tile. Are you doing anything? I don't think you're actually doing anything. Can I build that tile? Can I build that tile? I can build that tile. Alright, fine. Slide you over a tile, slide you over a tile. We'll just leave that as. Okay, let's go with 2 lanes to here, and then swap over to 1 lane, and I want to run you not out of highways, out of normal roads. Actually, let's go 2 lane. Yes, and can I go back to highways, 3 lane, upgrade that. Okay. So, and can I continue that up to not quite connecting, but close to? All right. So, we need to make some basics, okay? Electronics. I'm going to put some electronic factories, just 1 or 2, okay? 1 or 2 beside one another. Yeah. And they need iron and copper. We have iron here, we have copper here. They're probably going to be directly start importing. That's perfectly fine. I do want to set them up in a district, but for the moment, we'll just let them go. All right. Now, after they've got to here, they're going to have brought in their iron plus their copper, and they're going to have an electronics ready to go out. Now, the electronics that are ready to go out, I want 2 lanes, bring up this way. I also want another row of these guys, at least. So, 2 lanes. We're going to come to this tile. I'm going to bring it back this way. So we're bringing everything back into this main road. We're going to go with a electronics. And I'm going to put in just another 1 or 2. Yeah. All right. So after I've made a whole lot of electronics, I want to then... and don't forget, we've all brought it back into this road. Like a belt in Factorio. We're using one-directional belts because Factorio belts are not bi-directional. So after we've brought it into this main road, I'm going to bring it all the way back out again. And once again, home appliances. And we're just going to build a few of these up the road. Now, these are going to require the electronics we just made plus more iron ore. Because, you know, every home appliance is made out of iron ore. And then we're going to put in another row like so. So, I should be able to bring in iron ore into this whole pile. Hang on, let's just extend this out. Yeah, there to there. Remove all of that. Yeah. And then build a new district right beside it. Okay, so we're going to go with iron ore from there. And also into the back row. I need to bring copper ore into the front row. And that's it. Oh, and electronics I need to bring from that row to that row. Okay. Go away districts. Okay, so we should have all the resources coming in. But I'm not done yet because I think I want at least one more row. And can I delete that little bit sticking out? All right. So with that done, how about another row? No, I'm greedy. I'm super greedy. We're going to put in another row. It fits so well. Delete. Okay. And let's slide you over top. Now, once everything gets from the input into the first lane, the second lane, the third lane, or the fourth lane, they all reach over to the left. So once they get to here, and it was a situation where I have a dead end. My dead end is perfectly fine. It's part of the plan because I'm going to take a highway off there and run it into there. Now, on my way out, everything needs to go this way. It's fine by me. It's fine by me, except we're not going to let them go left. They're just going to be able to go into here. And in fact, we're going to upgrade that to make sure they have a dedicated lane to get in, and we'll let whatever's coming in on the other lane also go into there. Okay. So we have a dedicated lane in. All right. As for over here, we have iron is coming in on the first lane, copper is coming in on the third lane. We want to have both iron and copper on both those lanes. And in fact, we're going to replace the road, that one, and that one, and also that one to make sure we have even better throughput. So you're going to go into there, and you're going to be able to go into there. Copper's technically on this lane. Okay, there and there. Or I just let copper go. So then they're coming up here and they're just running straight through. Yeah, that works. Okay, so we have iron, copper. All right, once we get to here, I want to have copper needs to be able to turn left. Iron needs to be able to turn left. Yep. And iron also needs to go. So if iron's in the middle lane, it can go through. And I want to have that middle lane still shared. So we have all the iron going left is in the left-hand lane. All the copper going left is in the middle lane. And we also have iron, copper still. And then we're going to pump out a whole bunch of these electronics, which are going to be able to drive up to here, come down here. We want to have that go both lanes, that also go both lanes, and come into the next row. And as we can see, I'm still missing a whole pile of copper ore because it just hasn't got there yet. All right, once we get to here, these are all outputs. So I want to have, and this is going to be just electronics. That's the only thing outputting from here. So I want to make sure the electronics are being put into the first lane and first lane only. Meanwhile, this is iron, copper. And we're going to end up with, well, iron and no more copper, actually. So copper's not going to pass. No, all the copper has to go left to go in those first two lanes. Okay, so now that I'm sure of that, that means none of this copper is going to the... Whoa. I don't think you came from somewhere local. I'm really positive you didn't come from somewhere local. I'm really positive I have iron. Nope. Yeah, I have iron leaving from here to come into here. That's unfortunate. It's less than ideal. All right. So all the copper has to go left here, and it's done with, actually. So I want to put iron on all three lanes, I think. And then you can go to there, and you can go to there. So we end up with electronics, iron. Then I end up with electronics and iron. Yeah. And then that means whatever iron's left over is... InfraSpace Road, single lane. Whatever iron's left over is now on that lane, along with electronics. Actually, I need to make sure electronics gets in that lane as well. So I need you to go to there, which means I'm going to upgrade you back to a dual lane. You go to there, you get removed. So electronics are here, technically there, I guess. Right? No. No, I want them all in the left-hand lane because they're going to turn left. Yeah, okay. So then once we get to here, we end up with electronics going this way and that way. We end up with iron going this way and coming into our last row. And that should get them all built. And then the finished product comes out this end. Stop it. There we go. Comes out this end, goes in there and feeds into the town. Now, a couple of things I can do to improve things is, rather than iron having to come all the way up and all the way back, we can just take a spur of iron off. Well, let's go with there. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to let them go straight through, and we'll just be able to add iron here should we want to. I also need to make sure districts, iron shipped in, copper shipped in, electronics shipped in, and then home appliances shipped into the town center. You're just missing copper, so you're just hoping to get there slowly. Whoop, wrong button. I want to remove that. I want to double check. No, they are all busy. Okay. Once the efficiency goes up, we'll be doing a little bit better, but we're still a little bit short on population. We are getting there, but not quite yet. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, that should be fine. That should be that problem solved. All right. This problem. No, this problem. All right, I still have a lot of purple trucks. Now, do I have purple trucks entering the road? No, they're all going through the bypass and up and over and into the roundabout. So we just have a lot of traffic down here that I need to clear. Now, I got many ways of clearing that. My favorite one is the bulldozer, but I also need to make sure that the home robots, they're there, are being shipped into the home district. Perfect. But there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of existing intersections that's probably causing them to slow down. So what I want to do, I think, is we're going to remove this and this. We're going to grab a single lane highway. I'm going to press R to bring it up a tile. And I think we're just going to go airborne right over the top into there. So I should have back to here. So if I unselect that, that means all the purple trucks end up in the right-hand lane, and then the purple trucks can go into the right-hand lane, and then hopefully all the robotics trucks can go in on the left-hand lane. It doesn't fix all the other problems I have, but it fixes some of them. Okay, next thing I want to do to try and fix these problems is traffic. So bumper to bumper to bumper, 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 and then that's one lane. So straight away I've cut off 50% of the throughput. That's one lane. I've cut off 50% of the throughput. That's 2 lanes at least. And then you get to here. That's still 2 lanes around the corner. And that's 2 lanes around the corner, but I'm occasionally stopping for iron trucks, which ideally I shouldn't be, because ideally we're not shipping iron across the map, but it turns out we are for the moment. You are building, yeah, they're doing fine. That seems to be doing a lot better. Unfortunately, existing trucks that have already decided, oh, no, you just repathed. Well, that's something. So, we're either going to have the trucks that clear eventually, or they're going to end up repathing. Now, there's nothing to stop the purple guys, which look like what they're doing. Yep, they're also choosing the superhighway directly into the roundabout because it's a much shorter path. All right, so that's this problem partially fixed. When I say partially fixed, I mean probably not at all. Yeah, okay. That's still the backlog. That's getting better. Sort of. Would it help if you could go into that lane? Oh, it would. You just made a lane choice a long time ago and haven't been able to change it. Is that right? Oh, and that's also single lane. Ah, okay. What I'm going to do is number 2, 2 lanes, place road, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. I don't know if that's going to help or hinder. It does delete a whole bunch of cars, so I guess it helps. And this intersection is... have you allowed to go through and right? Through and right. See, we cut off a different lane this time. Through and right. And you know what? Replace. Through and right. All right, we now have the methane fermentation plant. Hooray! Research. Okay, so methane fermentation is blue and green science. There is one more blue and green science, which is, well, 2. There's cargo gondolas and there's trains. I like trains. Mini train station, small train station, a medium train station, a large train station, a main train station, and rail. We're going to unlock that one next because I think trains are sort of going to become important. What the hell? This is the exit. Oh, this is the entry. Yeah, so we're bound up even on the entry. And that is just because... what? But there's just queues. There's just queues on queues on queues. Oh, even that's jammed now. Oh, wow. Okay, can I have you go into that lane? And you know what? 3 lanes it is. Okay, so you can go into that lane or that lane. You can go into that lane or that lane. You can swap to the left-hand lane. You can swap to the right-hand lane. You can also do a swap-a-roo. And also exit. You can also do a swap-a-roo or exit. Okay, so if you end up in the middle lane, you can, at this point... actually, you're always going to be in the middle lane. Can I have you go to the outside lane as well? The inside lane, rather? Okay. So you can gradually, over time, work your way to the to that lane. Yes. And you should also go there. Like, this is ridiculous. Why you cut off one whole lane? And we need to do that because I don't want anything leaving Suburbia. All right. Does that solve that problem? Partially. Partially, mostly. Possibly. Bumper to bumper. Not really. Okay, 2 lanes worth. All right, I now have 3 lanes turning in. You know what? Replace road. That. You get to go on that one. You get to go on that one. You get to remove. We're gonna go with 2 lanes. Replace road. All right. You go in there. You go in there. And here, you get 2 lanes, you get 1 lane. Yeah, I'll call that a win. It's flowing at least. It's flowing. It might not be perfect, but at least it's flowing. All right. Okay, methane. So, let's talk about this one. This is our food input. So, food input requires sulfur. Now, hopefully, the sulfur's coming from over there. The fact that I just saw you show up from this orientation, as I see you, as do I see you, that means it's definitely not working. So what I'm going to do, first things first, is you are 2 lanes. We're going to go with you. We're going to go with you. We're going to go replace road. I'm going to go with that. That. All right. So that solves problem number 1. I can't bring in sulfur from here. So we're going to bring in sulfur because now I have no choice. Districts, sulfur. Yep, it is set up as an export from there, yeah, to here. But the problem with districts is even if you set something up, it seems that it doesn't always work. It's not like it has to come from this location. If I have sulfur elsewhere on the map, and I guarantee I do, that's not inside a district, it'll just ship anywhere it feels like. Okay, so we're going to bring in sulfur. Sulfur's going to come in on this back road, and it's going to fill in the fertilizer factories. After it's filled in the well, it's going to come down here and then split into this center road from, well, hang on, let's go back. 2 lanes. 2 lanes, better. Sulfur comes in. It goes into one of the 2 lanes and then feeds these fertilizer factories. And it does so by being either in the left lane, taking left here, coming down here and feeding one of these, or being in the right-hand lane, which means it comes right up to the end and then pops in here and feeds one of these guys. Now, these guys are going to output fertilizer. Fertilizer needs to go across the road to produce vegetables for my fertilizer. And it's not a 1-to-1, but it's close enough. It's roughly enough. It's roughly. So they can go and service their closest one. If not, they can drive all the way down here. And then because right-hand turns are free, you just turned left. What the hell are you doing? That is not how you do things, truck. No left-hand turns. All right, right-hand turns are free. So it can turn right and come into here. Not that vegetables really need to come into this lane. They sort of need to go into this lane. But, you know, they can come out here. They can turn right. Once they turn right, they can come into here. Once they come into here, also the excess fertilizer, because this will only do, well, this will do both these rows. So 50% of it needs to come in and disappear into one of these. The other 50% needs to roll around and up to this side of the block, or go straight through. Going straight through is also an option. Are you fertilizer? No, you are leaves. Okay. Fertilizer can also come up here and feed this side. All right, so fertilizer in and feeding these guys. These guys are going to make vegetables. On top of that, we have the meat labs producing meat. They're going to drive out here, and then they can take a left and then come in and feed one of the meal factories. Or, well, this row can come out and come in here and feed these meal factories. All the meals come out on Meals on Wheels. You are transporting good meals, which then pop down here, pop out through here, and then disappear into, well, the town center. The town center, the food court. Now, we just got the research for methane fermentation plant. Now, the meat lab, output organic waste, as does the vegetable farms. And you are 2 lanes. Okay, so I want to build that one, 3 lanes. Place road, thank you. Double check this. So you're gonna go on the first lane, you're gonna go on the second lane, you're gonna go onto the 3rd lane, and you're gonna also go on the 3rd lane, I think. What comes down here? Nothing. So it should be meat or... You know what? Have all the lanes. That doesn't do shit. Alright. And meat and veggies on lots of different lanes. What I do want to do is I want to bring a single one-way road this way. And have those 2... Yellow one can't get to the outside. Okay, yellow one needs to get to the outside as well. What I want to do is I want to have a single road going this way into a methane fermentation plant. Because if we look at production overview, I'm producing a whole lot of organic waste. 86 of it to be exact. And one of these plants seems to burn 24 organic waste. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And that should consume all my organic waste and give me free methane, which I won't say no to. Not that I need it just now, but can I get rid of that? And plumbing. plumbing, methane pipe. Can I run that to here? And then because I just don't care, we'll tag it in there. And you guys should... Nope, you do better if you have power. Can I get a substation right about... Well, there. And you... To you... To you... To you... And that should power these guys up. Yep. And then if I look at production overview... 64? Okay. Methane. Fermentation. There we go. That's 96 consumed. We only make 86. So that's going to give me free methane. I don't really need methane. We're not really using methane. We will use it eventually to fix the spaceship. But we also unlocked previously yellow science. Now, yellow science requires the nanosquares, plus it requires motors, plus it requires green circuits, and also it's going to require methane. So I now have a need for methane. I also have a need for more motors from looks of it, also more electronic circuits, also more carbon, a lot more carbon. So we have a need for a lot of things, which means wrong button. Which means in the next episode, we're going to be unlocking trains. You don't have any copper. It is being shipped here. Yep, it's just not making it. But why districts? Because there just ain't none. Yep, there just ain't none. Districts, electronics, no. Yeah, there just ain't none, which means you guys are not currently launching, but we are up to, we're over halfway. We're over halfway in an episode. I can't argue with that. All right. Once we finish science, we're going to unlock trains. Trains means that I can probably do something like, this a whole lot more efficient. The fact that we upgraded the miners to go twice as fast, already means builds like this are obsolete and they need to be redone pretty much from scratch to go at a better speed. Like we can now see that this road is mostly nothing but copper. And, well, it's going all over the place because, well, it does. And ideally, I think I can rebuild this in a much more neat and organized fashion to give us higher throughput because the town center has been moved. The town center is doing great. The town center is doing wonderful. We're just short on... Okay, so we have this group here won't get culture. We have this one, and two more over here that won't get park bonus. But apart from that, everybody has all they need. And go away. The next one I need is VR edutainment. And a school. Which is school. Home robots, industrial robots, high-speed rail, recycling of schools. And holo displays, VR edutainment factory. Okay, so they are part of yellow science, but they're a little way away. But it means, well, now that this is done, I can therefore just throw down houses where I want. We have 6,000 jobs. I have housing for 7,000. I have 6,500 people. The average is at 4.7. Unfortunately, I need 5.1, but I do have 50 immigrants ready to move in each of these, so we do have a decent amount of trucks coming out, but I need to leave this episode here. We've got a lot done, we've got a lot more to do, and we're definitely getting there. We also have the wonderful level 5 houses, and for such a tall apartment building, it holds 16 people. I'm pretty sure... Like if you're in the slums, you only get like 2 floors each. But if you're in the rich person one, you get like 3 floors each person. Because you hold 16 people, you also hold 16 people. Yep. What's it say on top? Future Horizons Inc. Yeah. Where there is, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's a whole penthouse on top. Yeah, I don't know. Balconies, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 balconies for 16 people. 3-bedroom houses, maybe. But then that looks like 2 separate windows to me. I don't know. I didn't do good at architecture. Whoa, wow, you got upgraded. Yeah, see that looks like separate windows for separate floors, and then that's all windows for one floor, well, for lots of floors. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to call it here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you in the very next video. All right, bye.